Hello, my name is Ahmed Hassan, and today our topic is to explain the chess game implemented using Minimax algorithm. So here is the main file through which we control all the functions and classes implemented in other files. And these are the files: the board, config, game, and player. So this is the main file. Here we can first import the basic things numpy and pandas, and then from chess game or player, here this is the module, and from the player module we can import these functions, and from chess game dot game, this is the game game module, and from this module, this is the whole module, we can import the game class. So after importing the necessary data, we can make the object of the class game class, and here we can use this to call the function in this game class. So we can use the object dot start game function and pass these four necessary parameters. Here is the greedy player, the minimax player, the visual true, and the pause, and these two are the function names, and we can see in the player class. Here is the greedy player and the random player. So as we can see here, the random player and greedy player. Now we can see that how this function call works. So here is the game module, this, and this is the main class, the game class, and we can make the object of this class and then access these methods. These are the two methods. Now we can see that which method we can use here. So here we can see that we pass four parameters: the greedy player, minimax player, visual, and pause. And in the game there are two start games. Here we can pass four parameters, and here we can pass three parameters. So now we can call this function. So here's the we can first make a variable and choice true or false. So in this variable there are true or false. Now we can apply the conditions, if else condition. If this is true, then this conditions execute, and if this is false, then this condition execute, and after this the result will be returned to the statement. Okay, so now we can see that what is this. If this is true, then this is dot self dot game, so this function will be called here. Now what is this function? Underscore game. So this is the function here, underscore game, in the same module, and here we can call this using these parameters: the PLCLS true and PLCLS false, and visual and pause. So if this is true, first case, if this is true, then we can call this function. So here we can see that this function takes parameters such as white p, black p, visual, and pause. So first we can use the board module, and here is a variable result and the start time, because we use some GUIs, so the start and end time is important to save. So there are two things: try and except. Here is the except. So here firstly try for I in count. Here we can see that if the visual, so now the visual is false. If this is false, then these statements are not execute. Now if this is true, then firstly it's display the board. Now what is the board? We can see. So here we can see that we display the board, which we can initialize here, and this can be imported by here. So here we can import from chess class and from chess module in this board, and then we can make a variable here, and we can give this board here according to the conditions. After displaying the board, there are some things that was executed when the visual is true. So here the white score and the black score. On both cases we call the eval board state, which is a function. So in eval board state we pass board true and board scores, and in second case black scores we call the same function with the board false and board scores. So now we can see that what is this eval board state and what is this function. So we can here in this board, and here is our eval board state. So here is the function, and we clearly see that here it's return a total score. So we can first initialize a total score random. So after this we can apply a for loop on the dictionary here, the board score policy dot items. In this we can see that the dictionary has some keys and values. So pieces are the keys and score are the values. So in pieces we can get the attribute chess and pieces here. So the important thing is that here we can make two variables, true score and false scores, and the total score is the sum of these both in on all the iterations in this dictionary here. So here we can see that we can first find the length of this board dot pieces and player, and multiply this with the score here. And after the false scores, length board dot pieces, and here we can apply and pass the parameters pieces and not a player, and multiply this with score and then -1 here. So these two things, after computing the simple true scores and false scores based on the parameters, then we can pass this. So return the total score, and this will be returned in the game module, and here in white score we have the value of this, and the black score we have the returned value of this here. So after this we can display some things, because we use some GUIs. Here we can see that we use some GUIs this type. So we can use some HTML tags and these type of things. So the main code is from next, starting from here. So if the game is over, then we want to break this. So what the game over function takes, it takes board and claim draw, that will be true. So what is the game over function? We can see that here. If we come the board module, we can see that here the game over function, and what it does, it simply take the board parameter and the claim draw, which is a boolean parameter. So we can check the board dot is game over, and this is nothing but some built-in function. Board dot is actually this function we can make in the board. So here we can see. So as we see that here is our game over function. So it takes a parameter called board and a claim draw, which is a boolean parameter. So now we can check the condition if this object dot the built-in method which takes an boolean argument claim draw. If this is true, and if this whole condition is true, then we can return true, else we can return false. So according to this method, the main condition, which is this, if game over, if this is true, then we can break, and if this is not true, it means that if it is false, then we can come here. And there are two new conditions. If board dot turn, so board, we know that or object that we make here of the class, this is, so here is our object board we can make of this class. So we can use this object here to call a attribute, and then if this condition is true, board dot turn, then here we can initialize a variable move and y dot move. We can call another